Warrior football. True Warrior football. True Warrior football.
You are listening to the True Warrior Football Podcast with your host, Corey Kid Smith.
And now I've said all that, and I need to get to the meat of the episode, I would say. You know, there comes a great... No, I won't say that. In this profession, you come across a lot of coaches. Some coaches, other coaches are just, don't listen to that guy. He's terrible. And then there are the coaches that are exceedingly bright and just know their stuff. And one of those coaches for me was this man, Coach Rex Roeder. It has been a tough couple weeks for me. Rex that's a truly, truly special individual. He was a pain in all of our butts. That's for sure. That is for certainly sure. But he was always a guy that was going to go out there and try to coach as many people as he could to make them better. And unfortunately, you know, with all that being said, it's tough because now with him passing on February 11th, I don't have that coach to look forward to talking to anymore. And I have so many fond memories of Rex, good and bad ones. My God, man, this guy, I had an opportunity to speak at his funeral this past weekend. I wanted to share with you all that weren't able to be there, came earlier and couldn't stay for whatever reason. You know, I want to share what I had to say to you all now. So bear with me. I didn't write it down. It was all from the heart, off the dome, and it was one of the tougher speeches I've had to give, but one of the ones I enjoy giving. So bear with me here. I may add in a little more, may forget some things I may have said, but basically it's the gist of it. Rex Roeder. What more can I say about this guy? I worked with Rex from 2004 season when I came into the program until 2020 when he wasn't able to be around the program anymore because of his health. And in that entire time, Rex was Rex. And really, I'm a little jealous because you see him in his casket here. He's buried in his Warren jacket and stuff. And it's like, dang it, Rex. That's like something I want to be buried in. So now I got to figure out what I want to be buried in now. So thank you, Rex, for taking away that opportunity for me. I'm really jealous of you, all right? And he always said he wanted to be buried with a remote and a Diet Coke in his hand. So hopefully we get that in there as well in his casket. So let's get that out the way as well. But yeah, Rex was a very he was he was a character, man. He truly was a character. He would always tell me, oh, kid, I used to be this great athlete. I was like, whatever, Rex. You ain't used to be no athlete. Because if you knew Rex, you really met him when he was, dealing with all the things he had going on. I mean, this man had more metal in his body than anybody I've ever known. I mean, he had like 15 joint replacement surgeries over his lifetime. Like I'm talking about hip replacements, both hip replacements done 3 or 4 times each, shoulder replacement surgeries, wrist surgeries. I mean, man, this dude's been put together more times than Humpty Dumpty, man. And you see him, he waddles around like this, and it's like, Rex, there's no way you were an athlete. But he truly was an athlete back in his day. And to prove it, he would often call up people that he used to coach or people that, saw him actually do stuff. And it would confirm that, yeah, this guy was actually a pretty good athlete back in his day. And, he came up coaching kickers at Warren, but he could coach a lot of different positions, really. He just didn't shoehorn himself into that stuff. But he came up coaching a lot of our great kickers in our program over the last 15, 20 years. Square toe kickers, is one of the things to specialize in. He's probably, him and Coach Wilman are probably one of the reasons why Max Hernandez was able to have so much success during his time in our program. And, this guy Rex is just, he's special, man. He's special. We went on, he took me to a lot of Colts games as well. And it's so funny. First time he took me to a Colts game with him, he's like, kid, we're going to go to Shapiro's first. All right, so all right, I had never been to Shapiro's before. I had heard of it. And Shapiro's a great deli downtown Indianapolis. And so it's like, kid, go in there, order what you want, and we're going to eat, and then we're going to go to the game. It's like, all right, Rex. So, I get me a roast beef sandwich. I think I get like a sweet tea or something like that, and a slice of chocolate cake. Nothing fancy. And for years, this dude always said, oh, my God, I took it to a Colts game, and I took it to Shapiro's, and he made me spend more money than I've ever spent in there before. Like, dang, Rex, what do you expect at Shapiro's, man? This ain't like going down to the corner store. This ain't like it's a cheap 7-Eleven that you're going to Shapiro's. If you haven't been to Shapiro's, definitely go get the roast beef. It's the best. But he would tease me all the time. We would actually end up going a lot of times and watching, primetime Colts games at his friend Dave Enright's house. And he will always call, we're going to go over Enrong's. What do you always call him? We're going to go over Enrong's house. We're going to watch the game over there. And, it would always be a fun time going over there. The Enrights had a great setup at their house, and it was always a good time. And Dave and Rex's relationship goes back 40, 50 years or so, maybe longer than that. He used to coach with Dave in the 80s at Hamlin Southeastern when Dave Enright was the head coach over there. And I think it was 81, 82 or so, they won the state championship at HSC. So that was Rex's first state championship. And then he spent some time at Decatur in the 90s before he finally came over to Warren. And that's where he just won everything. He ended up leaving this program winning 7 state championships. 7. And at one point, it was really just Coach Willen with his 9 and Rex with his 7. That was it. I think Coach Clayton kind of can claim 7, but, for the last 3 or 4, he was AD. So, it kind of counts, but kind of doesn't count. But it is what it is. But Coach Willen and Coach Roeder here, Rex, 2 of the most successful coaches in our program history. In 2018, I had the opportunity of being around both of them for the first time in forever. It was really great, man. That first season of doing this show and doing this program was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. And that's where you see this great picture of Rex and I after the team won state, and I got pictures with a lot of my defensive guys. And I was like, Rex, come on, let's get a picture together. He wants to get a picture with the trophy too. It's all right, here you go, Rex. But I mainly wanted a picture with Rex. I couldn't think I had a great picture of Rex and I. And so here we go. And so the year after that, what was he say the year after that? It was more like, yeah, it was 2019. It was probably August, September or so. Coach Willen passes. And at Coach Willen's funeral, Rex and I sat right next to each other. And now here I am at Rex's funeral, sharing these stories with you all. Two phenomenal men that had great and profound impact on my life. And I go back and I look through my wedding picture album, and I see Rex right there. It's funny, really. It's like 5 years to the day of his funeral was my bachelor party. And I invited Rex to come to the bachelor party. I didn't think he would come, but he showed up to the dinner, at least, And we're sitting down at the Oceanair downtown, and we're having fun, drinks and stuff, talking and sharing stories. And, he would call Coach Tutsi and I GB1, GB2. I ain't gonna get into what that meant and everything. If you know, you know. If you don't, oh well, sorry. But, we're sitting down eating, and they hand me the check for my meal. And I said, whoa, lady, all right? My name's Crime. Crime don't pay. So I pushed it right over to Rex. He took it, swiped the card, took care of me. Also took care of, like, the hotel suite that we had for the night. They had my room all messed up. It was supposed to be ready at 4. It wasn't ready at 8 still. He got them to cut that rate down. Ended up paying, like, ridiculous, like, an easily ridiculous amount for a great room that we had there. It was phenomenal. Yeah, man. This guy Rex was truly very special to me. And even more special were all the times and battles I would sit and watch him and Coach Tutsi get into. I would be right in there in the middle of the three of us arguing back and forth, bickering about who God knows what. It was practice, some Decatur stuff. It was really just the best of times, man. Because those two hated to love each other, and they loved to hate each other, man. It was truly the best. And I've seen remotes thrown at each other. I've seen staplers thrown at each other. There was one time there was even a drink thrown at each other, a big gulp of Diet Coke thrown across the room. And it didn't hit either one of them, but it left a big stain on the floor we had to deal with. So that was that. Rex is truly one of the better coaches I've ever been around in my career. And like I said, he's been very helpful and instructful to me on and off the field. He always said when he found out I was doing what I was like, kid, get your boss to do a story on me. We both went to Ball State and everything like that. We're both warring people. He's like, all right, Rex, he's not going to have time for that. I don't even know. Like, he barely has stuff for the stuff that he's always doing right now. But I said to Rex, when I have an opportunity, I'm going to come home and I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to dedicate a show to you in a tribute and have you tell your stories and everything. And that was, that was like August or so. And every time I would come home, I didn't have an opportunity to sit down with him like I wanted to. Come home, I was like, I'm home for like 36 hours. And 36 hours goes by like that. And each time, I think I was home for Christmas, 2-3 weeks. Get COVID, test positive for that. I can't be around much people, so I didn't get a chance to see him then. And last time I talked to Rex was January 30th. He had called me and told me, things are going on, and the doctors had told him that they didn't think he had much more time, and that he had put up a good fight. And to know Rex is to know that he's been dealing with so many health issues for so long. And he always said, I'm not going to be around much longer. But he had been saying that for like 10 years. Like, Rex, you're going to be around for forever. And January 30th was the last time I talked to him. And he would be gone in less than 2 weeks. But I knew then what I knew now. If I knew then what I knew now, I would have made that trip happen. But it's interesting. You know, I came back unexpectedly to be at his service. And I said, you know, being in Indiana was the last place I wanted to be this week. You know, I had never been in Indiana where it's rainy, it's cold, you know. It was been the last place I had expected to be. But because of Rex, he had a way of making people do things that they didn't expect to do or didn't want to do. So there I was, paying tribute and homage to a colleague and a good friend. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. So, this is for you, Rex. Thanks for everything. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to and watch another great episode of True Warrior Football dedicated to the life and memory of Rex Roeder. Thank you, and God bless. Before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to show and read the obituary that was provided to everyone that attended Rex's funeral. I know a lot of you are still probably listening via the podcast and are not watching the video component that's been put out for this week. So I figured it would be best for me to read it to those as well and for everybody else that's watching. Rex Roeder, age 67 of Fishers, passed away February 11th, 2022. He was born in Indianapolis to Richard and Wilma Roeder. Rex graduated from Broad Ripple High School in 1973 and went on to earn his bachelor's degree from Ball State University. Rex had a fierce love for his daughters and grandchildren, a big heart for animals, especially his Boston Terriers Barney and Buster, and a passion for sports. Football was a large part of his life, in which he found many successes. He led numerous Indiana high school football teams, most notably Warren Central, to state championship titles. In his glory days at Ball State, he found entertainment and pride in his ability to kick the football onto the roof of the popular dormitory La Follette. In his healthier days, he loved creating and designing homes and building decks. He found pride in his work ethic and in his role as a regional sales manager at Siemens Corporation, formerly known as Powers. He overcame many obstacles in life and taught those around him the true meaning of resilience, determination, and strength. He loved his Diet Cokes, loud TVs, and big opinions. He is survived by his two daughters, Nicole Flesh and her husband Mark, Ashley Ritchie and her husband Patrick, as well as grandchildren Ellie, Will, Lucy, Joe, Henry, and Olivia, and longtime friend and love, Carol Candace Roeder. He is preceded in death by his mother, Wilma Keller, father, Richard Roeder, stepmother, Lila Roeder, sister, Lynn Beneke, and stepbrother, Alan Whitmer.